In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you some of the options that are available for the school's assessment manager within EnRoute. So if you go to the main menu, you'll see that one of the options is to choose moderation, and it says go to the moderation menu and a password is required. If I click on that, I have to enter the password, which you can change, then log in, and now the moderation menu is available to me. We'll go through the different options that are here. And the first is to set a submission date. So we've already seen that teachers throughout the school can be required to submit route maps on a particular or by a particular date. And this is where you would set the deadline. So clicking on this, it's very simply a matter of choosing a date for the deadline from the calendar. And then the second date is in effect when the submission process becomes open to teachers. And until that date, the submission date won't be shown on their route maps. So that's where that part of things is done. The second option for the assessment manager is to view all the moderation information for every pupil in the school. So if I click on this, you'll see that I have a form on which all of the items for each pupil, and we navigate it in a similar way to all the other forms. All of those options are shown. So if we start with Gerald, you can see that previously item 1 and a number of others were submitted and then were confirmed at moderation. So all of these items have been confirmed. But you'll notice that this particular item is new. So route map box 15 is awaiting confirmation. It's been submitted as a route map, and number 15 and also number 26 are awaiting validation through moderation. And you can actually show the evidence that that's based on here, but you can't actually edit it. So this is a way of seeing for all pupils, for the assessment manager, quickly what moderation information is. You can see also number 23 was submitted last year. The evidence was queried and then it was resubmitted, and the reason for that was it was felt the performance was relying too much on prompting and support. But obviously it was resubmitted and then confirmed. So you have a record there. So that's what the moderation, view all moderation option gives you. Print moderation report is useful for the assessment manager when preparing for moderation meetings. And on this form you can choose what you want to be printed on it. So I'm going to just choose to see only those items, those route map boxes for different pupils that are awaiting moderation. They've been submitted but not moderated yet. I can choose, if I want to anonymize the report, which might be useful if you're wanting to do moderation. But I'll leave it with the names for the time being. So now it's a report that shows every route map box for every pupil that is currently awaiting validation at moderation. So you can see the evidence. If there's a linked file, for instance a video file relating to the evidence, then there'll be a yes shown there. And the status of it you can see is submitted, and the teacher has submitted it as achieved. And here there's multiple pieces of evidence for this youngster. So you can print this out, and it might be useful for you as a means of managing a moderation meeting. The next option shows any items throughout the school that have been queried at moderation at some point. So we can see, for instance, that route map box 16 was queried at moderation in October last year because the evidence was limited, and in each case there's a reason for not agreeing the item, for querying it, and here is a quick way for the assessment manager to take a look at that and see if there are any patterns relating to it. So it might be that it's for the same pupil, or for the same route map box, or indeed for the same teacher, and that might be useful information in terms of school knowledge of the route map being developed, for instance. The next option is a summary report which shows the number of pupils who are achieving each of the different items on the route map. And you have to put a date in here, so I'm going to put in last year. And that generates a report showing a route map, but in each of the boxes there's a number. And at the bottom, the total number of pupils that were assessed on the route map is shown in that year. So there were 5 pupils in all. And the boxes show the number of those pupils who actually achieved each of those boxes. So clearly all 5 pupils were scoring these boxes, but you'll notice response to own name, not everybody was. And as you move up through the route map, you find that there are less pupils achieving probably those different items. Another option that is available to the assessment manager is to edit the incremental descriptors that are used throughout the program. So here are the default descriptors for scoring, and it's possible just to type in something else and change those. You can't change the numbers, there will always be 4, but you could change the descriptors if you want to, and that would then take effect throughout the program. And the final option is to change the password for the assessment manager. And to do that, you just type in the new password and then retype it. Click on change, and then that will take effect the next time you open the program. Once you've logged in as assessment manager, you can go to any of the other menus and you can return to the moderation menu without having to put your password in again. But once you close the program, then you would have to enter it again before you could use it. So those are the basic options for the assessment manager and the moderation menu.